My grandma knitted me this. I haven't worn it in a while. I just remembered why. It is itchy. Hi, how are you? So, I get asked a lot, how did I get Mark Gatiss in my series? Just a little bit of a history. Mark and I got to know each other on Sherlock Episode 1, Series 1. Uh, I distinctly remember going and shooting my scene. Uh, I was going to say scene, and sharing the car with him. And I was already a fan of his from League of Gentlemen. And you know, when you're about 20, I must have been younger, 19 maybe, and you know that you're in the car with someone who's important and you're a fan of, so you try to make conversation with them. Well, I decided to speak to him about football, something that I was just barely into at the time, and subsequently I found out that Mark does not give a shit about. But he was so polite. For a good 15 minutes, he was like, yeah, Portsmouth, yeah. And that was the last time I spoke to him for about 5 or 6 years, maybe. And then on Twitter, do you remember when Twitter was good? Do you remember that? Because I don't. But yeah, on Twitter, I replied to him on a tweet that he put out. It was a tweet that he put out, and I replied to him saying something I don't really remember. I was just about to say the exact thing. I don't remember. And he followed me back, and we just started talking. And I basically, just gave him the pitch of like, hi, like, thank you so much for putting me in Sherlock. I really appreciate it. I'm also a massive fan of comedy. I've just made Two Housemates Series 1. This is the first episode. Here's me in a dress. Um, uh, you can see the age difference now. I was 20 in this. That's me with my pants. So I said, look, I make comedy. I really love comedy. League of Gentlemen is, a huge inspiration to me. I've just made this series, Two Housemates Series 2. I think Two Housemates Series 2 we had literally just finished filming it. And yeah, I'd love to pick your brains about comedy and things like that. And yeah, we just ended up talking, and we met up loads, talking about comedy and the film industry, and it just ended up becoming really, really good friends. And I'm really honoured, honestly, and I feel incredibly lucky to have someone like him pulling for me. And I know I was gonna cry. It is sometimes I do. Sometimes I do get a little bit teary eyed knowing that somebody that I have always seen as so important in the industry and so important in my career, great boxer, in my comedic career, to be my friend. I just think what an honor. I just think absolutely what an honor. Anyway, one day I was really unsure about Two Housemates Series 2, Episode 1, the first scene. Um, and the first scene is essentially about my character and a character called, oh God, I can't remember his bloody name, but it's played by Chris Kendall. It looks like it's an interrogation scene, and it ends up being an advert for a premature ejaculation cream called Ejaculstop. And I was so unsure of it. So I showed it to Mark, and because he likes silly stuff, and I showed him it. Then I went to press pause to ask him what he thought, and he stopped me from pausing it. We ended up watching the first episode, then we ended up watching the second episode, and then I had to stop because I was just beet red and terrified, and constantly looking at him for whenever he laughs. I just couldn't deal with the pressure anymore, and yeah, he just went, "That was really, really good," which was nice because it would be terrifying if he hated it after watching all of it. And sorry if my phone vibrated there. I just got a message. Um, And yeah, then I tried to just move on. Yeah, I don't know if it's a very British thing where you see an opportunity. You know, I could ask him to be in Two Housemates Series 3. I'm not planning to make Series 3, but I might have to ask him. And I see that opportunity, I see that door open, and I go, fucking close it. Fucking quickly close it. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to find out that I'll ask him and he will say no. I don't want to deal with that failure, that rejection. And then we hung up for another hour or so, and then I was heading off, and he went, "You making Two Housemates Series 3?" And I said, maybe, yeah. And he went, "Ah, yeah, well, let me know, and I'll be in it." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll happily be in it. I love it. I thought it was really funny, so I'd happily be in it." Anyway, and that's why I made Series 3, because I didn't plan on it. But when he asked me to, I had to say, yes, definitely, of course, sir. And the same thing happened with Mustache Man. I'm sure I'll record a video about Mustache Man, him being in Mustache Man. And my other thing as well, which I can't really talk about, but excited to tell you. So, again, just really want to emphasize what an absolute privilege it is. What a pinch me privilege it is to have somebody I have looked up to for so long not only back for me, not only be happy to be in things that I've written, not only be interested in my career, but to also be my friend. Um, Amazing, absolutely amazing. So that's how I got him into Housemates Series 3. Like and subscribe and all that stuff.